it's the Archivest, y'all. Exclusively interviewing Just Blaze. And who is the world famous composing general Just Blaze?
The guy that's in front of the camera, just hanging out, nothing special. It's just me.
And over 20 years in the game, since you began from producing music and DJing, can you share on the start and growing up from Paterson, New Jersey?
Can I share on my start?
Yes.
Oh man, that's a lot.
Okay.
I'll give you the short,
highlight,
super fast version. It all starts from DJing, end of the day. And I think I always tell people, if you want to learn to produce, I didn't set out DJing to learn to be a producer. I didn't even know what producing was. I didn't even know what DJing was. I just used to listen to the radio and hear these guys making these sounds with these records, and I wanted to do that, And from there, it progressed over time until I think I could say a formative moment is probably when I was in college, and I was sitting there in my computer programming class one day, and I couldn't understand anything the professor was saying. And little by little, it just turned to more of a blur. It went like he was talking like this to, and I was just like, why am I still in here? And I left, and I walked out of class, and at that same week, chance to intern at a recording studio. I got an offer to. It was supposed to just be a temporary thing, but the girl who I was temporarily replacing got a record deal the next week, so obviously she wasn't coming back.
Working with Jay-Z, your business relationship, how did it come about, and Nation Familia?
Okay, I had a meeting one day at Universal Records with this guy, Dino, who signed Cash Money Records and gave them their deal. I left him with a CD of mine, and he's like, oh, this is going to be big, you're going to be rich, you're going to be famous, I'm going to make you this, I'm going to make you that, blah, 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 blah. I never heard from him again. But 2 weeks after we had that meeting, he had a meeting with an A&R from Rockefeller Records named G. Roberson, who was also shopping a deal for another artist that he had at the time. And the artist's name was Billy Bathgate. He didn't have a demo, so he would just rap live for people. So Dino happened to put in my beats and was like, here, rap on this. And G liked what he heard, and he tracked me down at my day job and was like, we're starting a production company at Rockefeller. You should come have a meeting with us. And the production company never happened. But I just kept a good working relationship with him, and Jay didn't pay attention to me for like the first year, and then he heard something that I did with a mill that he liked, and he just started, reaching out, and the rest was history.
And since '99, your production and memories captured in Baseline Studios and Stadium Red share on the sessions that you've been part of for hip-hop history. Any studio memories that you have?
More than I could get into now, but, just in short, Baseline was a magical thing. I don't like to make grandiose statements, but it was almost like a modern day Motown, in the sense where in every room it was like a factory. You had music coming out of every corner of that place. Because there were so many artists under one roof. All the guys from State Property, Bleak and all of his guys, Jay, Dipset, there was so much going on in a 4,000 square foot place. It was really like a music factory. Not unlike what Puff had with the Hitmen in the late 90s. So, it was a great place. It was a great time, obviously. And I feel like it wasn't, at least for me, it wasn't a competitive thing. It was more of like a creative energy thing. Everybody's creative energy was feeding off of the other. And, it's just something that we're carrying on in a different method at our Stadium Red. We have a multi-room facility, a lot of producers and engineers all working under one roof. We've got everything from recording to mixing to mastering to production and everything in between. So it's been really good so far. It's been a good year.
And Just Blaze, the monstrosity of singles and #1 hits, working with heavyweight artists, some of your favorite you've been part of.
Oh, I mean, I don't really have any bad stories. Everything's been a pleasant experience for the most part. You have some records that, you like better than others. It's been a great experience, and it's been a good 15 years. Obviously, working with Jay was great. Working with Eminem was great. We really clicked well. We had a lot more in common than I'd ever realized. But then even I was one of the last people that got to work with Pun before he died. That was a great experience. He was probably one of the most down-to-earth and humble people that I'd met in this business. He looked out a lot for me early on in my career. So, I got nothing but love for him too, rest in peace. And, it's been a great ride overall. I mean, if it wasn't, I probably would have just went and got a job. But, I'm doing what I love, so.
And many projects you've contributed to that have gone double platinum and gained many Grammys. Your music speaks to millions. That's breathtaking success.
It is. That's more of a statement than a question, but beyond me, I'm just happy to be a part of this thing we call music. I had a driver the other day. It was a 60-year-old Russian guy who told me that he learned to speak English from listening to Straight Outta Compton, the album. And told me a story. He said, I came home one day and I said to my wife, "Bitch, where's my dinner?" And she was like, what this bitch? He's like, that means good wife. You know, and he knew what it really meant. He was just messing around with her. But the fact that he was like, yo, I sat there and listened to that album over and over, and that's how I learned to speak English. You know, and my daughters look at me like I'm crazy because I still walk around singing Straight Outta Compton, crazy motherfucker named Ice Cube at 60 years old. I'm just happy to be part of that, something that touches people worldwide. You know, sometimes when you're in a studio within those four walls, you tend to forget that there's a huge world out there that you're impacting by making what you're making. So when I travel to places like here or places like far off Japan or Australia or in the middle of, you know, Asia, Hong Kong or Shanghai or something, or Russia, and I'm playing my records that I produced that came out of my brain, and people know all the words front to back, you know, you just realize it's bigger than just you. I'm just happy to be a part of it.
And the inspiration to the masterpieces Live Your Life, Welcome to NYC, Touch the Sky, Public Service Announcement, and Exhibit A. What drives you to orchestrate your style of music?
Whatever sounds good at the time. I was telling the previous guy, there's really no big mystery to it. I just I don't know where it comes from. You know, I wish I did, because I would bottle it up and I wouldn't sell it. I would just keep drinking it, and keep making it. But somehow it keeps coming. I'm just happy that I'm able to still get these inspirations wherever they come from. You know, after so many years in the game, because most producers will get maybe 2 or 3 years. You know, you're in and you're out. Your sound is in and then it's out. And you know, we're going on 14, 15 years now. So it's I'm just happy to still be here.
And some of your favorite equipment besides using an MPC to make tracks, and any other hobbies that you enjoy. Do you collect anything? And share about Megatron and your mountain lion.
My mountain lion, I got denied on the mountain lion. He was going to be the security guard. But you know, you think about it, that would have been rough. 'Cause I had 2 little dogs too. He probably would have ate them for breakfast or dinner, you know, and I would have found their bones like underneath their beds or something. So the mountain lion, I had to dead that idea. So just collecting things in general. I live in Manhattan. You can only have so much space unless you want to spend $20 million in a house. I used to collect sneakers. I had to, you know, let that go. Every once in a while, I might, you know, if I'm in an area that has a good record shop, I might go check it out. But even records, my space is at a premium, so I don't really have. I think in general, I have the spirit of a collector. I dabble in it from time to time on a lot of things, but I just can't really follow up on it because, you know, New York, they have us living in shoeboxes.
And who's Red 5 and the latest bangers with Eminem, Lil Wayne, No Love, and with the video over 85 million views? Astonishing.
Yeah, Red 5 he is a ethereal creature locked in my basement, and I feed him table scraps every 2 weeks. And then I drag him out and make him sing, you know, and then I lock him back up and put him in a cage. And I didn't know it had 85 million views. That's kind of hot. Something that came out of, started as a joke. But some of my biggest records have started out as just me clowning around. And then, you know, a year later, it's got 85 million views. That's insane. Thank you.
And your best hip-hop memory you've been part of or contributed to?
My best hip-hop memory? I have a lot of them. Last night was one of them. You know, I was hanging out with Pete Rock and DJ Premier. Two of the guys who I could say definitely taught me part of everything that I know. My whole life has just been kind of one long, great moment. I'm living a dream that a lot of people wish they could have, so I'm just happy to be here.
And the largest crowd you've ever rocked?
The largest? I think me and Alchemist did this show in the countryside in France last year. There's gonna be like 20,000 people, and some guy set himself on fire, which was pretty awesome. It wasn't awesome for him, but I don't know if he did it on purpose or not. It was because he waited. He had a flare, and he was just like, he waited for this one moment. Then he was just like, as soon as I dropped the beat, he was like, but then all the flames went like this, and the security guards ran over and tried to put him out, and he just started running around. I don't know. I hope he had a fireproof suit on, but you know, it was kind of crazy.
And you got any shouts?
Shout out, Google Just Blaze Man on Fire. You'll find the clip. That's my shout.
And thanks to Just Blaze and Red Bull Canada. And this is the Archivist, and you already know the name.
Thank you, Red Bull, for the wings. Gotta go catch this flight with wings.